Hi, I'm Matt, and this is Saz with our lovely dog Coco. And we're here to take you through the strong dynamic practice from the book The Physiology of Yoga, co-authored by Andrew McGonigal and myself, Matthew Hui. So for this practice, you may need a brick or two, and we will definitely use a strap. If you don't have a strap, however, feel free to use a kitchen towel or a trouser belt or something like that. So, let's start in a comfortable seated position. And once you're sitting nice and tall, just circle the shoulders back and down a couple of times. And then I invite you to close your eyes. We'll start with a breath meditation. So first, just observe your breath. Observe the length of the inhale and the exhale. And now consciously slow your breathing. Not to the point that it's uncomfortable, but just taking slower breaths in and out. Now adding a little breath hold at the top. So inhale slowly, holding the breath at the top, and slowly exhale. And again, inhale, hold the breath, and slowly exhale. Continue your slow breaths. And notice how you're feeling in yourself, just taking these slow breaths. And now into a very different breathing technique, Kapalabhati, called skull shining breath. So it's a forceful exhale through the nose. You can imagine a feather on your upper lip and you're trying to blow the feather off. Your abdominals draw in as you exhale. So it looks like this. I'll guide it with my voice saying hun, 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 but you don't use your voice box. We'll do 2 rounds and a little breath hold in between. So to begin, let's sit nice and tall. And again, I invite you to close your eyes. And then together, big breath in. And begin drawing the belly in. Hun, 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 hun. Continue at that rhythm. And then just slowly exhale out. 3 fairly big breaths, bellows breaths. Inhale and exhale. 1. Inhale and exhale. 2. 1 more inhale and exhale. Inhale 3/4 of the way. And hold the breath for 30 seconds. If this becomes uncomfortable, just exhale and breathe normally. And slowly exhale out. Great. 1 more round of Kapalabhati before we start to move. Inhale, a little bit quicker this time. So, hun, 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 hun. continuing at that rhythm on your own. Last few. And a slow exhale out. Nice big breath in and exhale. Bellows breaths. Again, inhale and exhale. And last one, inhale and exhale out. Great. Now inhale 3/4 of the way. Retain the breath for 35 seconds if you're able. And slowly exhale. Well done. And then just a nice slow breath in and out. Great. And then we're going to slowly make our way up from here. So if you roll forward onto all fours first, and before we go into our sun salutations, let's just move through cat-cow a couple of times. So from all fours, inhale to arch the back, look upwards. Exhaling to round the back, tuck the tailbone under, draw the belly in. And again, inhale. And exhale. One last time through that cat-cow position. And exhale. Good. From here, let's come into downward facing dog. Right. And if you'd like, feel free to pedal through the feet, pressing one heel down, then the other. Good. And then let's slowly walk the feet all the way forward to the hands. Good. And then just dangle down, folding over the legs. Bend the knees and slowly roll up through the back, or come up with a flat back as you prefer. Great. At the top of the mat, begin to cultivate an Ujjayi breath, making a soft H sound as you breathe. Imagine rubbing the breath on the back of the throat. See if you can create this Ujjayi not just on the exhale, but also on the inhale. And if it feels comfortable, take it with you throughout your practice. One more slow breath in and out. Now moving through a sun salutation. Inhale, reach the arms up, look up. Exhale to fold forward, hands come down to the floor. Look forward, come halfway up. And to change things up, we're leading with the left leg. So exhale, left foot steps back. Inhale to a high lunge, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands frame the front foot. Step back to a high plank position and slowly lower yourself all the way down to the floor, down to your tummy, into a low cobra, meaning that you're not pushing into the hands, just arching from the contraction of the back muscles alone. One more slow breath in and out, and then back to downward facing dog. Good. In downward dog, nice big Ujjayi breath in and out. And if you'd like, feel free to pedal through the feet or wiggle the hips, whatever feels nice to do. Good. And one more breath cycle in and out. With the next inhale, let's float the left leg high. Remember the left leg. Exhale to step it forward between the hands. Step the right foot forward, the feet to touch. Look forward, come halfway up. And exhale to fold forehead towards the shins. Press into the balls of the feet to come all the way up. Stretch up, look up, find a little arch, and exhale, hands to the heart. Let's stay here for a breath cycle, standing nice and tall, finding your Ujjayi breathing. And with the next inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forward, hinge of the hips. Inhale to look forward, come halfway up. Now the right leg steps back for a high lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up, touch the hands together, look up. Exhale, hands frame the front foot. Stepping back to your plank, your high plank, and slowly lower yourself all the way down to the floor. Low cobra, so no weight on the hands, lifting up from the contraction of the spinal extensors alone. Good, without pushing into the hands. And then downward facing dog. Good. Downward dog, nice long slow breaths. Check that the neck is relaxed, the head hanging heavy. And one more slow inhale and exhale. Next inhale, float your right leg high and step it all the way forward between the hands. If you need to, you can always use your hand to help step it forward. Inhale, left foot forward, come halfway up. And exhale, fold forehead to the shins. Coming all the way up. A little back bend as you look up. And exhale, hands to the heart. We'll stay here for one breath cycle. Right. And with the next inhale, let's reach, arch, look up. Exhale, fold forward, hands to the floor. Inhale, look forward, come halfway up. Left leg steps back for high lunge. Inhale, try to look upwards, touch the hands together. Exhale, hands frame the front foot. Step back to your high plank. Now slowly lower to a low plank or Chaturanga Dandasana. Push forward and up, upward facing dog. Knees and thighs off the floor. If you can, downward facing dog. Good, let the neck relax. Nice long slow breaths through the nose. And let's notice our hands and feet on the floor. Try spreading the fingers wide. Try spreading the toes wide. One more slow inhale and exhale. Next inhale, stretch your left leg as high as you can and step it forward between the hands. Inhale, step the right foot forward. Look forward, come halfway up. Exhale, fold forehead to the shins. Inhale to come all the way up, arch, look up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Let's keep moving. Inhale, a little back bend, and exhale, fold forward. Right. Inhale, look forward, come halfway up, stretch forward. Exhale, right leg back for high lunge. Inhale, touch the hands together, look upwards. And hands frame the front foot. Good. Stepping back to your plank and slowly lower Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Inhale and downward facing dog. Good. Again, feel free to move around a little bit if you like, or just remain still. Right. One more slow breath in and down. Inhale, stretch your right leg high. Exhale to step it forward between the hands. Good. Inhale, left foot forward, come halfway up. And exhale, fold forehead to the shins. Inhale to come all the way up, arch, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good. One more round. Inhale, reach, look up. And exhale, fold forward, hands to the floor. Inhale, look forward, stretch forward, come halfway up. Exhale, left leg back to your high lunge. Inhale. Hands frame the front foot. Exhale. Stepping back to plank, low plank, Chaturanga, and upward dog. Flowing back to your downward facing dog. And just taking a few long, slow Ujjayi breaths here. Good. With the next inhale, stretch the left leg high. Step it all the way forward between the hands. The right foot forward, come halfway up, inhale. And exhale, fold forehead to the shins. Inhale to come all the way up, reach up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Good. Second side. Inhale. And final round. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to look forward, come halfway up. Right leg back for high lunge. Inhale, touch the hands together as you look upwards. And hands frame the front foot. Good. To a plank position and slowly lower chaturanga, low plank. Upward facing dog. Inhale. And back to your down dog. Enjoying a few long, slow breaths here. Great. See if you can maintain that ujjayi breathing. And with the next inhale, stretch the right leg high. Step it forward between the hands. Inhale, look forward. Step left foot forward, come halfway up. And exhale, fold down, forehead to the shins. Inhale to come all the way up, reach up, look up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Good. So open the feet hip distance apart for a moment, palms forward. Mountain pose, Tadasana. I invite you to close your eyes and just notice how you feel after those sun salutations. Great. And then let's blink the eyes open and back to hands together, feet together. For chair pose, Utkatasana, bend the knees and reach the arms up, touching the hands together, reaching up and back. Finding these dueling energies in the body. The more you reach your arms back, the more the ribs flare open. So see if you can pull the ribs in a little bit while also pulling the arms back. Good. You might find it feels a little bit awkward. And in fact, Utka means awkward or even fierce in Sanskrit. So it seems appropriately named. One more inhale. And then exhale, fold forward, hands to the floor. Inhale to look forward, come halfway up. And just step back to your downward facing dog. An optional vinyasa. So if you'd like, inhale to plank, exhale, slowly lower. Upward facing dog, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. One breath in, nice long slow exhale out. Next inhale, float your left leg high and step it forward between the hands into a high lunge. So inhale to bring the arms up. Perfect. Now hands together in front of the heart. Stay here one moment. And we're going to explore our active and then leveraging into an assisted range of motion in a twist. So bring the arms wide, parallel to the floor, and rotate to your left. Good. Try to look behind you. And you're using the muscles around the spine to rotate you. Perfect. Now, right hand goes outside the left knee. And now you can leverage against that point. And you'll probably find you can rotate a little bit further. Take a couple more breaths here as you leverage against the front knee. And let's see if that assisted range of motion increases our active range of motion. So come back to the right arm being extended forward, the arms parallel to the floor, and just notice if it feels any different. Great. One more inhale. And then step back to your downward facing dog. Exhale. Lovely. Through an optional vinyasa. So if you're tired, skip it. Otherwise, inhale, plank. If it's calling to you, low plank, upward dog, and downward facing dog. Good. A couple of breaths in down dog. Let you allow yourself to catch your breath here. Good. One last inhale and exhale out. With the next inhale, float the right leg high and step it all the way forward between the hands. Come into your high lunge. Inhale to reach the arms up. Hands to the heart. Good. Rotate to your right. And let's bring the arms wide, parallel to the floor. Try looking behind you. Good. Nice, long, slow breaths. Maybe ujjayi breathing. Remember that. Good. And then we will assist this rotation by placing the left hand outside the right knee. Try to rotate a little bit further if it feels comfortable to do so. Good. And then see if you can remain there as you extend the left arm forward. Did the assisted version of the pose help the more active version? One more inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, you're welcome to stay in downward dog, or if a vinyasa is calling to you, inhale plank. Exhale, low plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward dog. Again, let yourself catch your breath. Nice big breath in, and a slow exhale out. One more breath cycle before we start to move again. Good. And with the next inhale, float your left leg high. Exhale to step it forward between the hands. Inhale, high lunge, come up again. Coming to wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. So you just turn to the right, turn to the long edge of the mat. Turn the feet parallel, maybe even a little bit inwardly rotated. And let's interlace fingers behind. Stretch the arms back and then fold forward, letting yourself go all the way forward. Good. And so here we're going to be exploring what it feels like to go to our total end range of motion. So you could say we're going to our maximal forward fold. And after a few more breaths here, we're going to try something a little bit different. For now, just continue taking a couple more long, slow Ujjayi breaths. Good. And now we're going to come up maybe about halfway. So don't come quite so far into your end range of motion. Come to instead to about 80 or 90% of what you could. And notice how the muscles that were just a moment ago being stretched now need to engage. They need to contract in order to hold you here, namely your hamstrings and your spinal extensors also. Couple more breaths, just noticing how this feels. Maybe a micro bend through the knees. Good. And next inhale, come all the way up to stand. Good. Hands together in front of the heart and turn the legs out. We're coming into a side lunge, Skandasana. Now before you go down, again, we're going to explore only going about 80% of your full range. That'll be much harder. And then letting yourself go all the way down. So bend your left knee and come down into your side lunge, Skandasana. Again, only 80%. So you might find your quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes working quite hard to stabilize you there. A couple more breaths. Again, noticing how this feels. Good. Which might be very different if you're used to just always going to your end range, which now we'll do. So let yourself come all the way down to the floor. And if you need hands down there for support, feel free to bring them down. For some, their heel will touch the floor. Others, your heel won't touch the floor. It doesn't matter really. But think of lengthening upwards. Take nice, long, slow breaths through the nose. Great. One last breath cycle. And then we have two options to come out of this. If you're up for a real challenge, you're going to come up from here, back up to stand. Otherwise, from your Skandasana, you can just bring the hands down. And let's all step back to downward facing dog. An optional vinyasa. So if you'd like, inhale to plank. Exhale, low plank. Upward facing dog, inhale. And downward facing dog. Exhale. Good. Noticing your breath again. Nice long, slow Ujjayi breaths. One more breath cycle. Inhale. And exhale. Next inhale, float your right leg high. Right leg high. Step it forward between the hands. Come into your high lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up. Now turn to the left, to the long edge of the mat for Prasarita, your wide-legged forward fold. Interlace fingers behind you as you turn the feet parallel. Nice big breath in and fold forward, keeping the fingers interlaced, hinging at the hips. And again, a few breaths where we go into our end range. Letting yourself explore fully folding forward, stretching the arms towards that wall behind you, behind the back. Good. staying aware of your breathing. And now, not going all the way down. So come up a little bit. Think of having a flat back position. And if it feels good, a little micro bend through the knees. Great. Notice the muscular engagement that's required to hold this position as opposed to simply stretching. And both are good to do. Both are valid. With the next inhale, let's come all the way up. Hands stay on front of the heart. Turn out the legs a little bit. And now we're going to bend the right knee only to 80% again, which means your quads, hamstrings, glutes, all those things you're going to have to fire up quite a bit here. Here we go, holding your side lunge Skandasana at about 80%, thereabouts. Good. You could always have your hands on bricks or on the floor if that helps, if that's needed. With the next exhale, let yourself go all the way down to the floor. Being careful not to sit on your dog. And staying there in what is perhaps the side lunge that you're more used to, Skandasana. Good. Couple more breaths. And then we have our two options. If you're tired, just bring your hands to the front of the mat, step back to downward dog. Or if you're up for it, push down, try to come up, and then downward facing dog all together. Great. Optional vinyasa. So if you'd like, you're inhaling to plank. Exhale, low plank. Great. Upward facing dog. Inhale. And downward facing dog. Great. A nice long slow breath in. And exhale out. From here, look forward and either jump or walk the feet forward between the hands. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold forehead to the shins. And let's come all the way up, reach up, a little arch to the back. And exhale, hands to the heart. Good. Welcome to standing. So, dancer's pose, taking a little balance sequence. Taking hold of the left foot first. Take hold of the outer edge, or if you prefer, the inner edge of the foot. Good. Reach your right arm up. And then kick the foot back. Good. Naturally, your pelvis will tilt forward a little bit. Try to keep looking forward at eye level. Good. Nice long, slow breaths through the nose. Good. And then slowly coming out of this Natarajasana, dancer's pose. Relax, just bring the foot down, maybe shake out the legs a little bit if you'd like. Good. And then we're going to go to the right side. So take hold of the right foot with your hand. Good. Lifting the left arm and then kicking back. So you're trying to kick the right foot as far away from you, behind you as you can. Good. Taking nice, long, slow breaths through the nose. And don't worry if you feel wobbly. We all do. Even though Saz looks like she's in perfect balance, they're still rocking right and left. Slowly come up from here and release. Bring the foot down. If you want to shake out the legs, circle the foot or anything. And then just enjoy standing on 2 feet for a moment. Nice big breath in. And out. Now we're going to make use of that strap. Starting with the left foot. So if you hold on to the strap, making a loop there, and hook your left foot into the loop. So hold on to the strap, so your palm is up, like holding onto a tray. Hook the foot in, and then flip. Good. So you walk your hands down the strap. Right. So you want a good degree of tension on the strap. And tension just means pulling 2 things apart. Great. And then just like in other dancer poses, you are kicking back. And notice the balance of tension and compression, those 2 forces acting on the body. Things are being stretched, things are being squashed together. A couple more breaths in this king dancer's pose. And then slowly release out. placing the foot down, and just let yourself rest for a moment. If you want to take any intuitive movements, feel free. And then when you're ready, going to the second side. So right hand out, like holding a tray, hook the foot, and then flip the grip. And sometimes just doing that can take a little bit of practice. Try to walk the hands down the strap so we have the right degree of tension on the strap. We're pulling on the strap enough. Good. Try to look forward at eye level rather than straight down. Notice your breathing. And one more slow breath in and out. Do your best to come out with control rather than flopping out of it, but release out with control. Place the foot down, and then you can put the strap down. We're done with that. Well done. All right, feet together, hands together. Nice big breath in. And exhale out. Inhale to stretch up, look up. Exhale, fold forward, hands to the floor. Look forward, come halfway up. And just step back to your downward facing dog, or you can also jump. Through a vinyasa optionally, so inhale, plank. Chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Great, coming into a little back bend sequence. Come down to your tummy, all the way down for bow pose, Dhanurasana. Reach the hands back, and for the first round, we're going to hold on to the outside of the feet. Okay, outsides of the feet, or ankles, or shins, whatever you can take hold of. And if you can only grab onto one, just grab onto one for now. Kick back in this bow pose, Dhanurasana. Nice long, slow breaths. One more breath cycle here. And then release. Turn your head to the left. Maybe make a pillow with your hands. Or just have your hands down by your sides. Whatever is most comfortable for you to relax in. Notice your breathing. Enjoy the sweetness of rest that comes after a back bend. And then our second and final round of bow pose. So reaching the arms back, and let's try holding onto the insides of the feet this time. If you just went for the 1 foot option, you can go for the other foot now. And when you're ready, kicking back. Softly focus the eyes on one point in front of you, or close your eyes. Notice your breathing. Let the arms be pulled back by the feet. And release out. Turn your head to the right. Close your eyes. One more slow breath in and out. And then we'll come into Locust Shalabhasana. For the first round, let's have your hands down by your sides and the palms face the floor or maybe outwards. We're going to keep the feet down and just lift the upper body. So lift your chest. Good. Try to lift the breastbone off the floor as best you can, and the shoulders are drawing back, your arms hovering above the floor. As if someone were pulling the arms back. One more slow breath in and out. And then straight into our next version of Locust. Interlace fingers this time. Lift the chest. And at the same time, lift both legs off the floor. And of course, modifying if you ever need to, if something bothers your back, for example. Otherwise, you're lifting everything off, just your tummy on the floor, taking long, slow breaths. And release. Let's go back to downward facing dog straight away. In downward dog, nice big inhale and exhale. And then look forward to your hands and lightly jump or walk forward into a cross-legged sitting position for boat pose, Navasana, everyone's favorite. So we extend the legs up. You might start with the knees bent, drawing the shoulders back, trying to lift the chest upwards. And if you can, extending the knees. Great. Keep your eyes focused on one point, your drishti. One more slow Ujjayi breath in and out. Keep the legs there and slowly roll yourself down to the floor until you're lying on your back. And let's go straight into shoulder bridge, Setu Bandhasana. So the soles of the feet on the floor, and then press down into the feet to lift the hips up. We're going to interlace fingers underneath, interlacing the fingers underneath you, pushing the hands down to arch the back, lifting the breastbone towards the chin. Again, notice your breathing. I think it's always a good idea to observe your breath in your yoga practice. And then release out of that. Good. And just rest for a moment there. Nice big breath in and out. We're going to take now an option for 2 full wheels, Urdhva Dhanurasana. If that's not available for you today, then instead go into your shoulder bridge again, the same thing that you just did, but how about lifting the left leg for the first round and then the right leg for the second round, so it becomes a single leg shoulder bridge. Otherwise, placing your hands by your ears for your wheel pose, and then push down to lift up into that wheel Urdhva Dhanurasana. Breathe as well as you can. Good. And as I mentioned in the book, I find it really difficult to breathe in back bends because we're stretching the very structures that need to move. So just breathe as well as you can. And then release out. Tuck the chin in, just come all the way down to the floor. Good. Any intuitive movements you'd like to take, feel free. And then getting ready for our second and final round of this wheel pose, or again, your single leg shoulder bridge. So when you're ready, placing the hands and come on up. You could aim for 5 breaths there. Keep pushing down to lift up. And then just slowly release out. Slowly come down. And again, any intuitive movements you'd like to take. If you want to rock the knees or hug the knees into the chest, whatever feels right. And congratulations, we're done with our back bends. And in fact, we're done with the most challenging part of the class, the peak, if you will, and we're going to take the arc down, slow everything down with a few hip stretches. So when you're ready, roll yourself up, come back to downward facing dog. Good. And downward dog, nice big breath in and out. And then coming into lizard pose. So first, float the left leg high, inhale. Step the left foot forward between the hands. And you might wiggle the right knee a little bit further back. Let's place the right knee down, the back knee, and let the left knee rotate out to the side as you bring both elbows down to the floor inside the left leg. If the elbows cannot reach the floor, you could have bricks under each elbow, or a brick under each elbow. Right. Your knee will therefore be rotating out to the side a little bit, externally rotating. Just let it go where it wants to go. I invite you to close your eyes And again, focus in on your breath. From this position, we'll come into pigeon pose. So you just wiggle the left foot over to the right edge of the mat. And the left foot might need to move back a little bit, right? So just find the position that works best for you and hopefully where you feel a good stretch across the left glutes. Nice big inhale, lifting the chest upwards. And then let's fold forward, bringing the elbows down if you can. And you could use a brick as a headrest. Just tilt it slightly toward you and bring your forehead onto the brick. If this position's ever not right for you, if it doesn't feel right, you could always take a reclining pigeon pose. You lie on your back in the same position, but the left ankle in front of the right knee. Notice your breathing. Take a moment to marvel at all of the things your body is doing to keep you alive, all of the systems that are working so beautifully. And then just slowly come up and back to your downward dog. A completely optional vinyasa. So if you don't want to, then don't. But otherwise, inhale to plank. Chaturanga and up dog. From downward dog, float the right leg up, coming into lizard pose on the second side. So the right foot steps forward, and we turn the right leg out a little bit as the left knee lowers down to the floor. All right. Come down to your elbows, if you can, or use bricks. Okay. Again, your right knee will just naturally roll out to the side. As always, find the position that works for you. Modify as needed. Notice your breath. Notice all the sensations you feel in this stretch. For example, what is being stretched? How does that feel? If you had to describe it, how would you? Then coming from here into our pigeon pose. So wiggle the right foot over to the left edge of the mat. And the foot might go a little bit forward or back, depending on what's happening today, how flexible the hips are. And inhale, lift the chest up for a moment, and then fold forward. Bring the elbows down if you can. Consider using a brick as a headrest if you'd like. Or perhaps just resting your head on your hands or fists. Once again, think of all of the things that our body is doing in the background without us even thinking about it, even breathing, exchanging carbon dioxide and oxygen without any need for us to think about it. And when you're ready, come back to your downward facing dog. If you'd like, one final optional vinyasa, completely optional. If it were me, I'd probably skip it by now. And then just look to your hands and let you jump or walk forward to it. Cross-legged sitting position to then lie down and come to our final relaxation. Before you do, why don't you hug the knees into the chest, just rock the knees side to side. And then let's place the feet on the floor, the knees still bent, and just rock the knees side to side like windscreen wipers. And then settling into your Shavasana, your final relaxation. So we normally, have our legs extended out, palms face upwards, but make it your own. If there's something that would be more comfortable, if you'd like to rest your feet on the sofa, have a bolster under the knees, or whatever, have the knees bent, go ahead and make it your own. Once you are comfortable, take a nice big breath in and hold the breath for a moment. As you exhale, let yourself fully relax into the floor. Let yourself completely let go. Let yourself surrender and enjoy. So slowly move fingers and toes. And then reach the arms back into a long, full body stretch. Take your time to come up and face forward, however you like to do so. But slowly coming up. Let's finish with a quiet moment, noticing how you're feeling in yourself. Now let's bring the hands together in front of the heart, bowing the head. Take a moment to be grateful for your body, all the amazing, intricate things it's doing, and to this wonderful practice of yoga. I thank you. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed it. See you soon.